Come here, little midget. What's happening, guys? All right. So, taking a little break from our regular automotive content and wanted to take a minute to just introduce you guys to the pack. Now, you've probably been hearing all the dogs in the background in some of our other videos, or just seeing them run around, and I figured this would be a good opportunity for us to just kind of introduce the pack to you and why the pack. You know, for years I've been in the rescue world. It's something that, you know, we all have our hobbies. You know, my hobby obviously is cars, but my biggest hobby and my passion is really for dog rescue, and I've got lots of them. We're always rescuing dogs. A lot of us here at Just Driven are focused on, a lot of us own rescue dogs. In fact, almost all of us own rescue dogs. It's a big part of what we do and we live for. And I currently have 7 in the pack. I have an 8th that I'm going to do introductions today. And I have 2 in boarding and a variety of dogs coming in from all sorts of different resources, and wanted to just take a minute to kind of introduce what we do with dogs to the channel. So take a minute and I'll show you around. I'll introduce you to some of the little gremlins. Right, young man? Right, young man? All right, so I figured let's do introductions. So here is the newest guy to the pack. I'll start with the newest guy. So this is this is Seeger. Seeger is an 11-month-old boxer. He was basically given to me by a family that has 3 very young children, and just proved to be a little bit more of a handful than they thought.
Yo, he's still a super pup, so I gotta keep grips on him.
You gotta watch it.
He will ruin everything.
Yeah. And they asked for my assistance in rehoming him, and I have rehomed, you know, hundreds of dogs over the years, and so this guy, he reminds me of Buddy. He reminds me of Rico, a couple dogs that I've had that I've lost over the years to cancer, or, you know, a variety of different things. And so what I did, you could see he's had a little suture here or there, and I just had him neutered, and he had a little mass. I had that mass removed, and he's 11 months old, and he's kind of the newest addition to the family. And so he's our new guy. Now we have Bear. Bear is my grumpy boy. So this is the boy that is mostly responsible for lots of challenges I've had over the years. He came out of Riverside County. So Riverside County is in the Inland Empire, and I got word that this senior boxer Mastiff mix was going to be euthanized because he was very angry. He wouldn't let anyone near his kennel. He was, I believe he was an owner surrender. Don't really know his entire story. I've had Bear for about going on 4 years now, maybe three and a half years. You could tell he's got an embedded collar, so he may have been he may have been a dog that was just tied to a tree and lived outside his entire life. But you know, I have a soft spot for these dogs that, you know, most people would overlook because they're not young puppies. And one of the things I decided to do was I decided early on that I was always going to be an advocate for these older dogs. I called in and they basically told me that Jake is going to slobber all over you.
I accept it.
Basically, they told me that this dog is a problem. He's vicious. He won't let anyone near his cage. Every time people would approach him, he'd growl, show teeth, and charge. And so I just wanted to have a shot at him. So I decided I was going to take him. And they basically made sure that I brought 2 people, I brought a van, and I brought a large kennel because they weren't so sure that he'd attack me if I just left him to free roam inside the car. So we went and picked him up, and although he was a challenge, you know, I will tell you, there were a few times I tried giving him some direction. He didn't like it, but it's like anything, you know, with dogs. It takes time. You can't assume that they're going to sort everything out in just a very short period of time. So what we ended up doing with Bear is I boarded him for a while, and I brought him back to the pack, and he lived in the house and started coming to work with me, and he's proven to be a wonderful dog. You know, they all have issues. I mean, dogs are dogs, people are people. I'm sure, you know, you guys all have that one friend that embarrasses you in crowds and says the most inappropriate thing. Not to say dogs can't be that way, they can. And so every once in a while you get a dog that is a little carried away or a little crazy. But you know, for every bad thing you could find, there are plenty of good things you can find in a dog. So this is Bear. Sadie here, come here, Sadie girl. So Sadie came from Mexico, Tijuana. She came with her brother. I quickly found her brother a home, and then I ended up placing Sadie in a family, and it worked out really well. For about 2.5 years, I guess there was a situation that came up that another dog essentially got loose, and Sadie went after this other dog, and they didn't want her anymore. So I didn't want to put her through rehoming her with another family, so I elected to make her a permanent part of the pack, and she's been with me ever since, almost 5 years now. Sadie is about, we believe Sadie's 7 or 8 years old. And this is Guinea. Come here, Guinea. Well, he's almost 6 now. Guinea is a boxer again. He's a very handsome fella. He came from a loving home. A friend of mine on Instagram, and if you guys want to learn a lot more about these dogs, they're on my Instagram account if you guys want to take a look at the life they live. Guinea, basically I was contacted by a friend of mine who had a friend that had followed me on IG, and she was moving out of country and couldn't take him with her. And she basically said, you know, if you want to make him a part of your pack, he's yours. And at the time I was like, I just lost Buddy. And I've had him for a year now, and I just lost Buddy, and I thought, oh man, I don't know that I could take on another dog just yet. So, long story short, Bear, come here. Long story short, I ended up agreeing to take him, and it was the best decision I ever made. This guy is such a wonderful part of the family and the pack, and everyone loves him. He's very well behaved. He was extremely loved and well cared for in the family he came from, and it's just an honor that I get to let him live his life out with me. So that's exciting. Come here, Coney. Come here, come here. So Coney, my little chunky monkey, I've had Coney since she was 7 weeks. Coney is basically a Craigslist rescue. She came from someone that was just trying to make some money off of selling a litter of pups. They basically pulled a boxer from a friend that hadn't been neutered yet, and they had a female, and they figured they can make some quick money by selling the puppies. She was one of 4 pups, all females. And Coney, I ended up working a deal, and I took all 4. They didn't realize how much work it was having puppies, and essentially I took all 4 of them off their hands. Her 3 sisters went to forever homes, and Coney was the runt of the litter. I call her my Beetlejuice boxer because she has this tiny little head, and her body has kept growing and her head hasn't, but she's absolutely the monkey and the clown of the pack. She gets along with everyone. Loves cats, loves dogs, loves squirrels, loves birds. She's very popular on Instagram. But Coney is, she's awesome. She's had her share of health issues. She's got some hip issues, and she's 7. She's very white in the face, but you know, all my dogs get treated with kit gloves and are well provided for and medically treated on a regular basis, and of course they all get the best food. Let's meet Lacey. Come here, Lacey. Come here, big girl. So Lacey here, she's the only pitty in the pack. And, you know, they initially said that she was likely mixed with boxer. I'm not so sure. She may have a little boxer in her, but she has definitely got pit in her. And she came out of Baldwin Park, had Lacey now for 4.5 years. She's been an absolute love, man. She's been one of the best dogs. She had a fractured tail, so we had to remove her tail as soon as we got her. Lacey is the most mothering dog. Any new member of the pack, she immediately takes under her wing and mothers and takes care of her or them. So that's Lacey. She's amazing. You know, it's amazing what dogs can do to a human. You know, having a dog around just really turns on so many things inside you that you just realize you don't have. You know, it turns on compassion. Jake, come here. And then there's Jake. So Jake boy, we believe Jake's about 9. What's amazing about Jake is he's a slobberpuss, and he has no white hair, so he tricks everyone into believing that he's a lot younger, but we believe Jake's about 9 years old. He came out of Baldwin Park, and so he's a Baldwin Park rescue, Los Angeles County. He was an owner surrender. Owner said he was experiencing seizures, and they didn't have the financial means to look after him, so they surrendered him to the pound, and the pound was going to euthanize him because once they explained to everybody that was interested that he was having seizures, everyone said, yeah, we'll find another dog. And so he didn't have a chance, basically. He didn't have a chance. So as soon as I got him, I never once saw a seizure. Not one time did I see a seizure. But what I did realize, he was a snorer. He was snoring as he was just sitting there. He had a hard time breathing. So I took him to a specialist. Turns out he had an elongated upper palate. We did upper palate surgery where we reduced the length of the palate, and he was able to breathe great, and never, ever had a problem with him. He's been an amazing dog. I've had Jake going on 4 years, 5 years. He's starting to go deaf. He's having a hard time hearing, and he's a lover, man. I mean, he's the one dog that pretty much cost me at least 20 rolls of paper towels a month.
Easily.
I mean, I'm constantly cleaning his jowls. And then, of course, Eggsy. Come here, Egg. Eggsy's kind of a gift. I always told people and friends of mine, I said, you know, I'd love to have a miniature boxer. He's a Brussels Griffon, unique breed. You don't see a lot of them. Most of them are long hair, wire coats. He's a short hair, smooth coat Brussels Griffon. A girlfriend of mine basically saw him and essentially picked him up and sent him to me as a gift. I couldn't say no. I certainly didn't need another dog, but he's an awesome part of the pack. He's going on, how old is Eggsy now? He's going on 3. So he's 2 now. He'll be 3 in January. So 2.5. And he's awesome. He has no idea he's a small dog. He thinks he's, you know, just one of the pack. He doesn't understand why the other dogs eat faster than him, but may have something to do with him having a small pie hole. But anyway, he's awesome. Love him. All right, let's go. Come on. Come on. All right, guys. Come on, monsters. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Get inside. Let's go. Come on. Seeger, where'd Seeger go? Come on, let's go. Come on, young man. Let's get inside. Come on. Inside. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. All right. The cattle train. Here's the new guy. Can you tell he's not quite used to it yet? Had to make an upgrade. Went to a minivan. Can you believe it? I went to a soccer mom van, but it's a lot more than a soccer mom van. So the Mercedes, you know, it doesn't get a lot of action these days. As the pack grew, the car needed to grow. So I ended up a while back, I picked up a Sienna. I needed the dual sliding doors. I needed a low floor, and the Sienna ticked all the boxes for me. And now this is a 2021 model. It's a hybrid electric, and it's awesome. There's going to be here's a little teaser for you. I've got a whole video we're doing on the Sienna and how it's become such an important tool to not just dog rescue, but also picking up parts for all the car builds we have going on. The amount of room in this thing is insane. Although it took some work, it's just been a phenomenal vehicle. But anyway, this is our transportation. There you have it, guys. You know, we're constantly looking at dogs, and we're constantly being called and getting messages all the time from the rescue community telling us about this dog that needs help. And I can only do so much. And what we try to do, and you know, because of Bear being grumpy and being the problem child, it's hard to bring in new dogs because he just does not like new stuff. And so I'm boarding a lot of dogs at different vets that I have relationships with, and I'm actively looking for homes for them. So currently I have a beautiful male Doberman and female Doberman, then I have a younger male Doberman. It's just, I've had a run on Dobermans lately, but I've had German Shepherds, I've had, you name it, I've had it. Boxers, I'm always attracted to, and so a lot of the boxer community reaches out to me, and that's how I get a lot of these dogs. Think about adopting. There's so many dogs in the shelters right now that absolutely need a place to call home. And, you know, they take work, I'm not gonna lie, but my gosh, the blessings will far exceed any effort that it takes to look after these guys. So, you know, thanks for checking us out, and please subscribe. I know that normally we give you guys a lot of automotive content, and as you know, we have lots of builds going on. There's always delays in our builds as we wait for new parts and whatnot, but wanted to take a minute to just kind of introduce some of the dogs to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed it. You know, thanks for following. I really hope you enjoyed meeting the pack. If you like what you see, you know, please give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and you know, give us a comment. I'd love to hear about those of you who have adopted and maybe your adoption stories. You know, hit us up in the comments and tell us a little bit about your story. I have a huge appreciation and a huge respect for anybody that goes that extra mile to pull a dog out of a shelter and make them part of their family. I just can't say enough about it. Share your stories with us. I'd love to hear it. Say bye, Eggs. Say bye.